Every now and then we have some weird issues where it says we're live out there, but then we're not. He doesn't pick it up on his phone, so then we kill it, we have to restart it.
Re-rack it.
Says we're live. Let me see if it
always takes, I don't know if it's the metal box, but it takes forever to...
This thing?
Yeah.
we're live.
And, Tracy, awesome. Tracy commenting on the picture from earlier. Tracy is awesome. If we can get out there, we'd love to go meet her. Here we are. It's Thirsty Thursday. So excited. Rebel is in.
Rebel's in.
Cut right to it. Yeah, we've been waiting for this. Talking about it. We talked about Lux Row yesterday. Weren't sure if it was coming in, but it is in. The newest member of the Rebel family in our store. Our single barrel. Corey's in the house. Peter Thomas, super fan, in the house. I like the Book of Knowledge. The older version of me, like it's super cool. So yeah, if you guys pre-ordered, you should be getting the notifications that your bottles are ready. I looked at the invoice when it came in. I don't know how we're going to make any money on this, but you guys have made us the #1 Rebel store in the state of Massachusetts. This is our way of saying thank you to you. These guys are going to get to taste this for the first time. This came in, I don't know, noon time today, and by about 3 o'clock I was itching. I couldn't wait, and we had to take a little off the top, get below the neck, get some air in there, make sure we're getting the right flavor profile. But just to kind of show these guys, and so you guys can see pure, honest reactions, we're going to go through the whole Rebel Bourbon lineup. So as a treat, we're going to get to taste the 10-year single barrel. I don't know that anybody's going to frown about that. So we've got Rebel 100, Rebel single barrel, Rebel 10-year single barrel. Which one was it? 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Best single barrel bourbon in the world. This is the sample that Corey and I tasted in March.
It was a while ago, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's 5-6 months ago.
I was thinking February.
It might have been February.
And look at the color on that thing.
Yeah.
Crazy. Probably can't see it. But
yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it, but
amazing.
It didn't lose much in the dilution. The original barrel sample, as we tasted it, 125.3. So here's the details on this. This is a 5-year bourbon. It is a wheated bourbon. 68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% barley. So that high wheat, I think it's still coming out of Heaven Hill.
That's what I've read.
I know they've opened Lux Row Distillery in Bardstown. They're making their own juice. I don't think that's what's in this bottle yet. I think this is still Heaven Hill stuff.
Yeah. Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Rebel as a brand goes back to the 1800s. It was made for somebody's personal collection. It was originally called Rebel Yell, which we've now, as we're sort of more woke, I guess. Rebel Yell was a Confederate sort of war cry during the Civil War, so we've dropped that off.
And then Billy Idol, of course.
Yeah, Billy Idol, after hanging out with Keith Richards for a night. This was actually Keith Richards' favorite whiskey.
That's right.
Back when it was it 90 proof back then?
Yeah, I believe.
And then they dropped the proof to 80 like a lot of bourbons did. And then the 100 came out 2 years ago?
Yeah, not long ago.
Within the last couple of years. And it was a game changer. And that's probably the best $20 you're going to spend on an everyday bottle. House favorite for us here. Yeah, let's get all these out of the way.
Show those bottles on.
Yeah. It's from my personal collection. It's still the old Rebel Yell label. So yeah, this is bottled 113 proof, 5-year. Yeah, enough about how the watch works.
So these are
tell some time
in
this order.
Okay.
So we're gonna see what the Rebel 100 is, and then sort of the single barrel versions of this. we all may have tasted this once or
Twice.
Yeah.
100
It's actually my
times.
first time trying it
yeah.
today.
And again, thank you to Tracy Murphy and all the great people at Luxco, Luxro. These guys were fantastic when we first got the samples in. We had a broken bottle. I emailed them that day. Within a couple of days, they had replaced the sample. Yeah, they've just been fantastic. Super accessible for any questions that we had. Info.
Doesn't get old, man.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't get old. It's great every time out.
Yeah.
Soft, sweet, vanilla.
Oh, vanilla for days.
Um,
Very unctuous.
and then sort of like that wheat bread kind
Yeah.
of flavor. Like fresh wheat bread without really the crust. Just proof that we're live. And again, 100 proof, which to me is just, it's the sweet spot.
And you're not seeing any or smelling any alcohol.
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Especially for 100 proof, like,
For
you're
100
expecting to get
proof.
some burn or on the nose at least. There's nothing.
That is the sweet spot for cocktails. I know you're a cocktail nut.
This holds up beautifully with an old fashioned, Manhattan, Bouvardier. You can't go wrong with this.
Even highballs. You can
Oh,
just mix
sure.
that with some soda water, ginger ale, lemonade.
Matter of fact, last night I made Boucaré for friends with this.
Nice.
Knocked it out of the park.
What are you using
Fantastic.
for absinthe on that?
I'm just well, with the Boucaré, actually that's Benedictine. And then with the Peychaud's and the Angostura, and then cognac. So it's easy peasy. So it's just 50, it's a third, a third, and a third. It's absolutely delicious.
Sounds
I
awesome.
always
This
think
would be good with a Sazerac.
because there was a brand of absinthe called
Yes.
Boucaré
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
So this works beautifully.
All right.
That's killer.
So I wasn't sure where to go in the tasting order. 5 years or 10 years. But this is 100 proof. This is 113. So I'm thinking maybe in ascending proof points.
I think that makes sense.
So we're gonna go, and we do have a few bottles of this left behind the counter. A couple of years ago, like we said, best single barrel bourbon. It's allocated and available. And I don't know, have you read anything recently about Weller or Blanton's? I feel like we're
Nothing.
getting 5 phone calls a day of people just
It's crazy. It's crazy.
hunting for Weller, Stag.
Or even willing to do trades. That's the new thing now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at the same proof point as the regular Rebel. This has more of a burn on the nose.
Got a little bit more heat. And one of the things, so when I was down and doing the bourbon steward training in Kentucky, one of the things they taught us is when you're doing the higher proof,
Yeah, just
not to necessarily get your nose so much in there,
Okay.
get your nose in there, but breathe through your mouth.
mouth. Yeah.
You'd be amazed how
Yeah.
you get the aromas, but you
Yeah.
don't get that big ethanol
Yep,
kind
that's
of
exactly
burn.
what's happening.
I'm getting more of the caramel,
Yeah, darker.
darker, richer.
Some of those peanut
Yeah,
aromas too. Almost like that Cracker Jack.
yeah. This is almost like a burnt spun sugar, brown sugar. But it's funny, for 10 years, I'm not getting, the oak is not getting in the way at all on the nose.
I still have a little bit of this bottle at my house, so saving that because this stuff is amazing.
There is some nice oak on the palate. It's
Yeah,
really
for
well
sure.
integrated, and big sweetness.
Yeah.
So,
The finish on this just goes on for days.
yeah.
You can really tell this is crafted beautifully.
So yeah, when this was created at Stitzel-Weller while Pappy was there. Pappy Van Winkle owned the distillery. He was a marketing genius. He never actually made whiskey, to the best of my knowledge, but he did own the distillery. Did you watch that Pappy Gate on?
I did.
Did Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I
I
gotta
was
get to it.
so underwhelmed.
Yeah, I was looking for more backstory on Pappy, and it was more about the crime. It was like crime stories.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine.
It was a little Keystone Copish to me.
Yeah, when you were explaining it to me, I was like,
And the actual living, breathing characters, they were the Keystone Cops.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like comedy capers.
Yeah, yeah.
They
There were guys who took steroids to get
Oh,
better
sure.
for softball.
Yeah.
Just-
And that was how they got their gang who couldn't shoot
Yep.
straight together. They
Yep.
were on the same softball team.
Yep, yep. What that didn't touch upon, my understanding, is they were actually dealing steroids.
Oh, they
too.
were. Yeah. Yeah.
And they were a little bit more gangster than they kind of led on in that sort of Keystone-ish
Yep.
portrayal there.
And the sheriff actually, the warrant for the arrest wasn't attributed to Pappy. At the end of the day, it was another distillery.
Yep.
Because the barrels, they were at least clever enough to
Yep.
blacken out
Yeah.
the origin.
Yep.
But they left one barrel out, and it was not from the Pappy.
Yeah. I think that was the other funny thing is
It was so funny.
these guys were buying barrels thinking they were Buffalo Trace. And
Oh, yeah.
They were Wild Turkey barrels.
Yep, exactly
And they were
right.
paying thousands of dollars for and
Wild.
the amount of Eagle Rare that they were stealing.
Oh, yeah.
Which at that time, Eagle
Was
Rare
nothing.
was not that rare.
Yeah,
They were stealing like pallets of Eagle. It
Eagle
was-
Rare. Yeah, the whole thing was, it was
just-
comedy capers.
It was bonkers.
no free ads, but
No.
watch it.
Yeah. So with the Pappy thing, where I was kind of going with this, part of the reason they put wheat in the mash bill instead of rye was, in Pappy's eyes, he wanted to really work on true Kentucky whiskey. And rye doesn't grow in Kentucky.
No,
Rye is a northern
climate.
grain.
It's difficult.
And so wheat actually grows in Kentucky, and he believed that it held up better in the aging,
In the aging process, yeah.
that it would age a little bit better than rye does for time in the barrel. So that's why the wheated mash bill. Whether any of that's true or not, as anything that pertains to bourbon, it's all about stories and history that may even be true sometimes.
So now we're to the PA de Resistance.
Yeah. So here we are,
Yes. It's the moment we've been waiting for.
113. No heat on it.
No heat whatsoever.
A lot of that vanilla.
Yeah, I'm getting some cinnamon. Cinnamon spice.
Yeah, almost like if it took like multi-grain toast. Remember when I was a kid, we'd have like toast, you put butter and then that cinnamon sugar on your
Oh,
toast for breakfast.
If you had,
I still do that.
have you ever
You
done
never outgrow that. Yeah.
Red Hots, but melted?
Okay.
Kind of, so they're not quite as spicy on that first,
Yeah.
Yep.
where it's stayed in your mouth for a while. I'm getting a little of that. I'm getting a tiny bit of clove.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot of layers in this. Again, I am getting oak, but it's very well integrated.
If you need some, man, come right there. Yeah, you good.
The color is absolutely beautiful. All right.
There's no heat.
We always talk about that viscosity. I feel like it's oil.
Yep.
Yeah,
Covering your tongue.
yeah, medium viscosity. The oiliness is very comparable, ironically, to the Tanyu. And I know we can't talk about price, but this is so affordable for what you're getting.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And for the deal that Rich
Yeah, I mean-
alluded to earlier
Yeah, that pre-sale price is just. You can buy 2 of these
for
For one of those.
That's a good way to
and
describe it.
still have a couple bucks left over for coffee in the morning. And not to say that I don't love this. Absolutely love the 10-year single barrel. One of my
that's
favorite releases
fantastic.
every year. But man, to get 2 of those for the price of that.
Yeah. And I know it probably doesn't translate well on Facebook Live, but the color,
Yeah.
I mean, it is very, very similar. And this is what, 5-ish?
Yeah, so this
Pushing almost 5 years?
went into barrel actually on New Year's Eve of 2015.
2015.
So I'm assuming they probably pulled it. They sent the samples out in the beginning of the year, February, March. They probably pulled it January. So 5 years.
Yeah.
So think about it. This is double the amount of years on oak, and yet
The color.
the color is extraordinary. I'm assuming the char is the same,
Yeah.
probably exactly the same.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure how that contract works. If
Yeah.
if Luxco says we get the barrels in this part,
Right.
If they have a specific area of
Which
a
is
specific
true.
rick house.
They're going to keep maybe some of the honey barrels.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, which is another thing. Like, so this is what Luxro is picking out for themselves.
Exactly.
This is what they didn't keep for this.
For that, for the 10 year.
And this is amazing.
Yeah.
So there's so many kind of narratives to me here of like
Yeah.
people talk about sourced whiskey. Sourcing whiskey is one thing, but you have to know what barrels you're sourcing. You have to have the relationships. It's not just, hey, let me get a barrel. You have a barrel from a certain spot.
So this, if you really want to get into the
Yep.
weeds, looks like warehouse 1, floor 3,
which is the middle.
which is in the middle, and tier 1, position 1 is probably irrelevant.
No, actually, when
Even
we did
nerds
that,
like me.
we did the tasting. Tracy pointed out. So when you go into the rick house, and a rick is basically like a series.
Right. And this is Rick
Like
39.
the barrels are laying like this. So when
Right.
you walk down, you only see the barrel on the outside.
Right.
So this was on the outside of the rick. It's the first
First one.
So
Got
if you're
it.
doing a tour of the rick house, you'd be able to touch
That
this
barrel.
The other ones we tried were I think
Further in.
3 and
Back.
5
Yeah.
in the
Deep.
middle.
Yeah.
So probably not as much humidity from the other barrels,
Right.
but you're also closer to the wall, so the heat coming through these metal rick houses is radiating right into there.
Yeah.
So you're getting a little bit more heat,
Heat.
whereas the humidity
Yeah.
would be more in the
So
center.
more extraction.
Yeah.
No question.
And the third floor, most of the Heaven Hill rick houses, the ones I saw, the ones we went in, they're 5 floors high.
Right.
So you're talking middle floor, which is the sweet spot.
Right. And Heaven Hill doesn't rotate.
No. No, as far as I know, the only one who still rotates
It's Makers.
Makers.
Right. Right. But that's where you want to be. That's the one. If you had to pick, that's one you want.
So I don't know if that's because we do so much Rebel that they hooked us up with great barrels, or that's just what they had to offer. But again, thank you to Tracy and
Absolutely.
all the great people at Luxco and Luxro, and
Yeah, that's a great program. And all the consumers get to benefit from that.
yeah,
That's a keeper, guys.
yeah, we love it. I kind of feel like we're gonna do this on camera. So we got you here,
All right.
and we'll do these.
What's he got?
Yeah, he's got some secret sauce here.
Yeah, it's
Well, I
always
mean-
something. It's always something.
It's your secret sauce. So we have another Rebel pick over there. We're not gonna say which store it came from. It's some people that we respect
There you
a
go.
lot, just to do a comparative tasting, just to see how, and to kind of show, yeah, that even though it's the same juice, it's the same mash bill, it's a single barrel,
Same proof point.
same proof point, same age statement.
I wish we had their sample bottle so that we could
Yeah,
tell.
I know. Yeah, where it was in
Yeah,
the
how did
warehouse.
they proof it down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess just to sort of prove the uniqueness of the single barrel program. What makes ours great is that these are both Rebel single. The labels are exactly the same,
Yep.
but they're going to be two totally different whiskeys.
Yeah. Even if it's one barrel behind.
Yeah.
If there were two and we were one, it'd still be different.
So Wachusett is left.
Yes.
Got it. Well, the first thing I see, the color of the Wachusett is darker. Just slightly darker.
The
But
other
that
ones have got a
could-
little bit more amber to it to me.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Well, that's
This to me is the fun and the joy
This is awesome.
of,
This is sick.
of what this really is about.
Yeah.
It's more than just getting drunk. It's
Pairing,
hanging out with
oh.
good people and having good conversation and,
exactly.
and
Yeah, there is a.
torturing you guys by making you watch it. I'm gonna taste the other stores first. I sometimes wonder if he's out there watching. And he's-
Little does he know.
yeah. True to form, I get a lot more oak
Yeah, I was just gonna
on
say
that one.
this is clearly more oak forward. I think it's even a little bit more astringent
Yep.
as a result of that.
Yep.
Not that it's a bad thing.
Nope. It's just different. And it shows different palates.
It's not bad.
And
Oh no.
It's good.
Yep.
I like it. It's very typical of
Yeah.
where that came from.
It's got it's got the pedigree.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. But I'm all about balance. The proof's in the pudding.
It truly is amazing how
They're
Different.
so different. That's wild to me.
same age, same mash,
Same proof.
same proof, two totally
Totally different flavor profiles, 1 year apart. But again, we don't know where the rick We don't know the floor. We don't know anything about this other than the mash bill is the same. The proof point down to the 10th is identical, but that's what makes this fascinating.
It just goes to show, like, people who come in here and say, I don't like the taste of whiskey. These are two completely different whiskeys. Same proof, same place.
Same source.
Same source, yeah.
Same juice.
There's something out there for you.
And you mentioned a year apart, and to me what that means is, like, in that year difference, it could have been a hotter summer.
Absolutely.
It could have been a cooler summer.
Yeah.
But people think, like, what makes this so special?
Huge difference.
Again, same mash, same barrels. You know, they're both new charred oak. But if there's a hot summer, if there's a cool summer, if it's here, if it's fourth floor, third floor, all these things factor in, and that's really what makes store picks so special.
Yeah.
They're once in a lifetime barrels. Well, this is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, and there'll never be another one like it. There hasn't been one before it.
And I'll be honest, guys, if we had done this blind, and I'm not doing that, Rich doesn't have a gun underneath the bar, this, I would pick over this. No disrespect
I honestly
to
think
this
10
one.
10 times out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, this has just more depth. There are more layers of flavor. Everything is in balance. That's the bottom line. This one, I think, as Rich pointed out, has a little bit more oak, which if you're really into oak,
yeah,
that's great.
Yep.
I would go with this one. But if you want something that's got more layers,
yeah,
and this is the one.
Yep.
This is the one that I would go with, without a doubt.
All right, so there it is. Rebel is in. The price, unbeatable. I know that pre-sale email only went out yesterday.
Yep.
We had a little technological snafu. The Facebook post went out a couple of days. But we are going to honor that pre-sale price through the end of the month. So you actually have some extra time. If you come in, try it, like it, want to stockpile a few bottles, through the end of July, that pre-sale price is going to be in place. After that, it's going to go up to around $40. And at $40, you can still buy 2 of them and have money for coffee with the 10-year. And I love the 10-year. In fact, I'd love it if you came in and bought one of each.
That's amazing as well.
Kind of have that collection. So in the 3 sort of star rating system, is it good? Yep. Is it worth the money? Hands down, is it worth the money?
If it's $20 more, I think it'd be worth the money.
And does that bottle start a conversation? I think this bottle is, I think Luxro did a great job with that bottle. I think it's stylish. There's an elegance to it.
It's got how they have this now and they don't have it on this one.
Yeah. The other thing I would leave with too, guys, for people that are searching for unicorns, one of the ones, if there's anything that I would even potentially equate this to, is Stag Junior. This for days over Stag Junior, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're talking similar proof points.
Very similar proof points, a hint of comparison. I bet if anyone worth their salt did that blind against Stag Junior, and you know what this is going, you know how easy it is, guys, to get Stag Junior these days.
Yeah.
Piece of cake, right?
Yep.
This is available right this minute.
Yep. Or you know, even a Weller Full Proof, because there's similar mash bills.
Very similar.
Similar proof points, only you can actually find this.
Or even Weller Antique.
Yeah.
And think about if you're lucky enough to get it and forget it on the secondary market.
Right.
It's
right.
ridiculous.
So there it is. 34 cases total between the 2 stores. So not a lot out there. 6 packs. We get 204 bottles. 203, 200. Yeah, no, we're under 200 already. For sure.
Because of me.
Between us two, too. It's like,
yeah, there you go.
So you can click on the Facebook link, you can click on the email link, you can just go to our website, order it there online, have it ready for curbside pickup.
On both stores, right?
On both stores, yeah. We're
That's
live
really
in both stores. So yeah, we're excited that it's here. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah.
I think we did good.
Yeah, we did good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good pick.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a home run.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.